Top Notch family, what is going on? So, in today's video, we are going to be doing a playoff preview for the Indiana Pacers versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, if you guys haven't seen my other videos where we did a playoff preview for Denver versus Clippers, Lakers versus Minnesota, Knicks versus Detroit, definitely go check it out. And also comment down your preview/prediction for those series. But also, if you guys enjoy NBA content, we do upload every single day, especially with the playoffs around the corner. The draft is coming soon, and then the off season. You guys are definitely going to want to sub. I appreciate that. But anyways, let's get back in today's video. So, Indiana versus Milwaukee, right? So this is a rematch. And to be honest with you, this series I'm least interested in, to be honest. But I do think it's going to be a good series. I do, right? So starting off with Indiana, right? They finished off the season 50-32, right? Pretty good season because they started off the season very, very slow, but they finished strong and got 50 wins, which is pretty incredible, right? So their conference record, they were 29-22, which is not the best, but their home record, they were 29-11, which is very, very good. Where they struggled was away, which thankfully, well, not thankfully, but for them, thankfully, right? They get home court advantage over the Milwaukee Bucks because as you see right here, 20-20 is not the greatest, right? Then their last 10, they finished 8-2, and then obviously won their last game. Now for Milwaukee Bucks, they were 48-34. Their conference record was 31-21. Their home record is 27-14, but their away record is the same as Indiana, 20-20. They finished off the season 8-2. But they finished off the season on an 8-game win streak. And that's interesting because obviously ever since the Dame Lillard sad news came out, we kind of expected this team to go down, but Giannis did not allow that. The other role players stepped up, and now we got the 4-5 matchup here, right? So that's very, very interesting, right? But when we look at the season series, right, obviously for the Pacers and Bucks during the regular season, so the latest game was 3/15/2025, where Milwaukee lost 119-126, right? Then before that, they had a game 3/11. So they played each other like not even 4 days apart, right? So they played 3/11/2025, where Milwaukee won 115-114. So they won by 1 point, which is very, very close. As you see, these games are close. Like there's no blowouts or anything like that. And then even right here, 12/31, Milwaukee lost once again, 112-120. So as you see, Indiana, in my opinion, I'm not gonna say has Milwaukee Bucks number, but they're a little better than them, of course, right? Now, when we look at the offensive rating and defensive rating for both teams, which I'm gonna pop up on the screen right here, obviously you got the Celtics, the Cavaliers, Thunder, Nuggets, but Indiana is number 9. They're ranked 9. And then when you look at the Milwaukee Bucks, they're ranked 11. So they're not far apart from each other at all, right? So Milwaukee's at 115.9, Indiana's at 116.5, right? And then when you look more deep into it, they average about 117 points a game. Milwaukee averages about 115, like I said, right? Indiana shoots about 41% from the field. Milwaukee shoots 43% from the field, right? So three-pointers made, which we all know is a big indicator in the playoffs this year. Bucks average more. Indiana's at 13.2. Milwaukee's at 14.2, right? The field goal percentage, very, very similar. So, they're very identical as a team. And then when we look at the defensive rating for both teams, of course, right, which I'm going to pop up on the screen right here, which we all know defense wins championships. Thunder, Magic, Clippers, right? But then when you look at it, Indiana's 13 and Milwaukee is 12. So, right, they're 114.3. Milwaukee's 113.4. So it's very, like I said, very identical. Bucks average about 7.3 steals a game. Indiana averages about 8.5. Bucks average 4.7, but Indiana averages 5.5. So very, very identical, like I said. Now, when we look at the Indiana's team stats and, look at their roster and stuff like that, as you see, Pascal Siakam is their leading scorer, averaging 20 points a game, 7 rebounds, and 3.4 assists, right? Then you got Tyrese Halliburton at 18.6, which he finished the season very, very strong. 18.6 and 9.2 assists, averaging 1.6 turnovers, which is just insane. The dude's averaging close to 10 assists and not even 2 turnovers a game, which is amazing, right? Then you got Mathurin, Miles Turner, Aaron Nesmith, Obi Toppin, Andrew Nemhart, and TJ McConnell, right? In my opinion, I feel like the Indiana Pacers are better offensively. They have more depth than the Milwaukee Bucks because look, you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They go Jarris Walker sometimes at 9, and even Thomas Bryant sometimes. So they can be like a 10 man rotation, which I don't think they'll get there, but they'll definitely play 9 players for sure. Obi Toppin, incredible season coming off the bench. Nemhart always been great. TJ McConnell is one of those vets that just plays his role and, is annoying. He's a pest offensively. Well, defensively, he's a pest and stuff like that. And then offensively, always hits those mid-rangers, right? This Indiana team is very, very fun. I feel like they have the better coaching staff, obviously better than Doc Rivers, right? When you have Doc Rivers and Darvin Ham, no disrespect to them, but I don't trust them in the postseason at all. So the better coaching staff, I feel like Indiana has the better roster for sure. But then when we look at the Milwaukee Bucks roster, which I'm not doubting them at all because they finished off the season on a 8-game win streak with no Dame Lillard, which is pretty impressive, right? Of course, we all know Giannis leads the team in points at 30, Dame at 24. Kyle Kuzma, in my opinion, is going to get played off the court in the postseason. I mean, he hasn't been great with this team at all. That Chris Middleton trade for Kuzma hasn't really worked out. But the big positive is Bobby Portis is back from suspension, of course, right? And another big positive is that Kevin Porter Jr. has been playing amazing basketball. He has been picking up the slack for no Dame Lillard, of course, getting triple doubles. Him and Giannis are just putting up big numbers, and he's the big part of the 8-game win streak, of course, right? And you got your 2 shooters in Gary Trent and Taurean Prince and AJ Green. But outside of that, the roster doesn't really go deep. So you have Giannis, Kuzma, Portis, Brook Lopez, Kevin Porter, Gary Trent, Taurean Prince, and Green, which I feel like these players definitely could get exposed in the playoffs. And I'm not saying Indiana's players can't get exposed, but I just don't feel like, some of these players are ready for the big time, like Kyle Kuzma, and they desperately going to need him if Dame Lillard does not return in the series, right? That's the big question, right? No one knows if Dame Lillard is going to return in the series. So who I'm going to be rolling with, I'm going to be rolling with Indiana in 6. Like I said, I just think they have the deeper team. I think they're coached well, and obviously, the regular season doesn't really matter much, but Indiana did their thing, of course, in the regular season. Now, what I will say is, right, if Dame Lillard does return to this series, I'm telling you guys right now, I'm going with Indiana in 6 if Dame is not healthy. But if Dame Lillard returns in this series and Milwaukee can steal game 1, Milwaukee will win this series in 7 games. I'm calling it right now. Dame is the big question mark. We all know what Dame could do in the postseason. He is amazing. Adding that to Giannis, they're both amazing. If Dame returns, Indiana is not going to have an answer to stop them. I'm sorry. But with no Dame Lillard, I'm going Indiana at this moment. So let me know in the comment sections, what do you guys think? Comment down your comment down your predictions of who do you think is going to win this series. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. We'll definitely get to the playoff previews for the 1-8 and 2-7s when the play-in, is officially over and stuff like that. But love y'all, and I'm out. Peace.